Sanhedrin Daf Pezayin Amud Aleph 20 lines down. תנו לנו. זקן ממרא אינו חייב אלא על דבר שזדונו כרת ושאירתו חטאת. This Tamir Hacham who's rebelling against Betin, he's only hayav if he ruled against Betin that the Avera that was being done wrong now is hayav if he did it, if it's an Avera that if you do it by mistake, it's korban hatat, and if you do it on purpose, it's hayav karet. No, the actual matter is in the Torah. But Rishon Midrash with explanations in by the Chachamim. Rabbi Shimon Amar, even if it's one tiny inference, anything he changes, he can be chayav on. My time in the Mir, why would Mir hold that it's only Torah? Gamar davar idem the Rishon the Mir Gamar. Ptiha ki davar the mishpat. So over there you shall do a matter. Tivat ben Amnon davar min akal. By parallel davar when Bedi makes a mistake in halakha, it also says the word davar. Ma'alan davar shayav is the no karet ve'al sheged hatat. Avkan davar shayav is the no karet ve'al sheged hatat. We're saying just like over there is a case, talking about a case of it, avera that involves a karet avera, but if you do a mistake, it's a hatat, so to it seeming apply. Maybe that says no. Al pi haTorah sheyerucha, pasuk says ad deika Torah veyerucha is the Torah and teaching, yani the aspect of hachamim involved there as well. Rabbi Shimon, Asher yagidu lecha min hamakom hahu. Pasuk says, I feel, Pasuk anything that they tell you, yani from Hashem or from the rabbis. I feel called do anything that's any variance against Hashem or the Hamim's teachings, you're chayav. Now, we brought down the pasuk, how each thing in the pasuk mentioned different parts of the pasuk. We said different type of halachot that they could be making a machloket on. And we're going to go through each part of the Braita that we brought down earlier. They explain the pasuk. So the pasuk says, כי יפדם ממך דבר למשפט אם בדן אדם בין דין לדין ובין נגע לנגע דברי רימות בשעריך וכאן תוריד את המקום אשר יתבחר השם לוקח רבו. That pasuk mentioned each word. He do that if it's if the this zakin mamre, the rebellious Tamid Chacham, is posek against what we are posek, like against Betin was posek, like. So we're going to go through each halacha as to what type of mistake this guy could be making. How can he be interpreting it incorrectly? Teach me according to the Meir. They only have a Tomar Karet. Go explain it to Rav Huna. Ki palem tasbar a hidden halacha. Bimuflash bedin hakudim. It's not a case of a recognized bedin. Mim mechaz yet's referring to Yoetz, which is shedel aver shanim v'likvo hodashim. He knows how to add the months into the years and to fix the extra day in the month if you need to. We can add a month into the year, the entire month of Adar, if we want to add a second Adar. Because initially they said you only able to do it till Purim. The problem is if this guy is testifying, this is you ruling the other way. If let's say he's ruling that there is no second Adar, or he's saying there is a second Adar, then regardless of what he says, if it's against what we're doing, he'll be making people eat hametz on Pesach whenever Pesach actually is. They're going to think it's off by a month, depending on what he told the Beti, the people. Okay. Davar de lacham, I said davar is referring to halacham mishmizina. This malacham mishmizina that they can be having an argument on. It's talking about the 11th day of the ziva cycle of a zav. Regarding the 10th day of checking, Rabbi Yachman Ma'asidi K'tishi, the same halacha of 10th to 9th. Rabbi Shimon ben Shir Ma'asidi K'ahara said 10th is like 11. What's going on? Rabbi Yachman Ma'asidi K'tishi, 10th is like the 9th means Matashi Ba'ai Shimor, it's the 9th that you have to check. So to the 10th you have to check. Afasidi Ba'ai Shimor. No, 10th is like the 11th day regarding checking. Ma Harasada Ba'ai Shimor is like the 11th day you don't need checking. Afasidi Ba'ai Shimor, so to the 10th you don't need checking. So this is a Tomar case of it's a karet or hatat. Okay, mishpat. What type of mishpat is a hadin? Is referring to gzira shava. What type of gzira shava that we have an argument on? Din beto man nusato. He can making a mistake regarding a guy, a halacha regarding a man who's he's sort of being a man with his daughter via who's only his daughter through the victim of his rape. Saying that even that type of daughter is asur, this Tamir Hacham will be going against that. blood of nida, childbirth, or ziva. What's going on? Dam nida, what dam nida, butuda, keva ben halan, brabanat, mahoked, nisfal, machor. It says, dam hayrok, regarding yellowish blood that comes out. Akada ben halan, tamid, ikabas is tamid, rumitin hamzi tahor. Dam nida about childbirth. Bilta rava madi bitvan mahoked. It my says, rava amar ma'ayan echadu. Rav says that there's one source that the blood comes out from, that the tahor and tamid blood comes out from. Torah says which one's tahor, which one's tamid. بيليفم are Mishneh, man, it comes from two different sources in the body. نستعمل التمام اللي تحت هو when one is open, the other one is closed. نستعمل التمام اللي تحت التمام and vice versa. Right, and he would argue against that. He would go according to them, we're not posek-like. So each of these cases that we're bringing is talking about a case that's mahloket, and this rabbi, this rebellious Talmid Chacham, would be posek against what we are posek-like. That is the case of Zakim Amre. Dam Ziva was the Ziva to the Bius of Yeshua at the time. Kisheta Shoshad Min Bitoch Ahad Asar Yom. A woman who's bleeding while in labor for 3 days within the 11-day period of her Ziva happenings. If she had relief for 24 hours, Yani, the labor stopped, but the bleeding is still continuing, probably Braxton Hicks. And then she gives birth. How does Yoleh B'Zov is from a woman to give birth while she's Ziva? Divrei Eliezer, Kun Bezir Shomer, Lalav Yom Kilele Shabbat Yemo. It has to be, Pena must have stopped for a night and day, like the same way Shabbat is for a night and day. And therefore, Shishata Ben Etzav Lim Adam must be that she had relief from pain, but not from the blood itself. And therefore, if her bleeding continues after the pains have stopped, it still can be considered a stop of the labor. And we see that labor before was not existent. Okay. Ben din din, verdict. Ben din name and ben shalom makot. Monetary capital and cases of makot. What are the machloket we have there? Shmuel says if two judges made a halacha, best throw back to the game. The halacha works. But they're considered a chutzpah betin. Maybe Amar according to Rava, does not work at all. You never show what's capital cases. It says where you shall take a life for a life. In the case where is a man we're fighting with another guy and he accidentally killed a woman. So sounds like we explain it as mammon. You pay the monetary value of that person because it wasn't on purpose. Oh, and then maybe you're talking about actual life if they killed. You have the word giving in two different pasukim. Just like over there in case of Mammon, by the pasuk was talking about a paying for the miscarriage. So to Avkam Mammon, so regarding the woman herself, you pay money, you don't actually get executed for it. The Makot was the common lashes. Says Makot Makot first by betting of 3. Mishra says you need 23. That was in. Correct. The first Amud of the Masachet. Okay. Benercha lenercha. Different types of sirat. Ben nigei adam and nigei batim nigei bergadim. Nigei adam is not sirat. The people was machloket between the Rabbi Yishov and Rabban. The time she said in baheret kadam l'siar levan. If the white spot came before the white hair, you need both white hair and white spot. So if the spot came before the white hair, tameh, the guy's tameh. Im se'ar levan kadam behet. If he had white hair already before the baheret came tahor tor. Safek, if you're not sure, he's tameh. Rabbi Yishov says no, keha, it's fate. My keha, what do you mean it's fate? Amarava. Keha tahor. It is as if it's faint and it's tahor. I mean, in the case of safek, you assume of tahor. Regarding houses. We say that the house will not become tameh through tzaraat. We had it before, very, very unlikely halacha, but making a house tameh has to be a certain measurement on 2 stones only in the corner. My time why? Because he says kir uktiv karot. Because it says wall and walls. Teach you as a kir because the wall has 2 walls. Have American zviz is a case where the walls meet in the corner. Neg bagadim about clothing. Betuda b'deratan 10 verse says, how do we know that tricha bagadim shehi tahora? Garments. If a tzarat happens, if a tzarat comes on the entire garment at the same time, not just the patch, having if that's tahor, just like a person, if his whole body turns to tzarat, he's tahor. So too, regarding the clothing as well, if the whole thing turns tzara tahor. I don't know who would want to wear that, but at least you're not tameh. Okay. Divrei. Elu ha'erechin b'ha'haramot v'kedeshot. Erech vows herem and hekdesh. Ha'erechin must machor on erech. Erech saying the person should become he puts the value on a person. How much that person's value is should be Bet HaMikdash. So what's the one again? Machoket. Tanabet says, Hamarich Pahom ben Chodesh. Someone makes a erech vow on a child that's under a month old. Rabbi Meir, the Tanabet, he says, you have to give the child's value, evaluate it and give that amount. I mean, how say no? La Martum doesn't count. Aharamim Sadim, Stam Haramim B'Lekabait. When a vow is given as this item shall be hired for Bet HaMikdash, that money is given for the maintenance and the upkeep of the Bet HaMikdash. שנאמר כהנים קודש קודשים הוא, להשם. לפעמים מאזינו, סתם חייבים לכהן, יגוס לכהנים, שנאמר, כשדה האחרון לכהן ותהיה לאחוזתו. אם כן, why is pasuk, if that's the case, מה אתה מדבר על קודש קודשים להשם, what do I do with that first pasuk of going to Hashem, it's not like that, שהחלה קודש קודשים והקודש קודשים. It teaches you that Hashem can work on the lower kadosh korbanot and the higher kodesh korbanot. Okay, hekdashot. Making things hekdesh. What is the Tomat? Because Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbanan, but it says Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbanan, Afilut Sinora shel hekdesh tzricha asra ben adam l'ftata. We mentioned before this as well. Even a minor item like the tiny little fork that spins thread needs 10 people bedin to come evaluate how much it's cost in order to redeem it. Rivot, arguments. Zuhash katsu tavaretat eglabat mitzvah. Machloket regarding sotav with the water, the egla rufa and the mitzvah. Hashkat sotah, what's the machlok regarding sotah? Betud Rabbi Elazar ben Yeshua. Someone warns his wife not to be with another man, not to be in a private area with another man regarding sotah. He has to warn her in front of two witnesses. He can make her drink. You can bring her to Bedin after warning her if she does it again in the presence of either one Eid or himself, if he notices her secluding herself. Rabbi Yishmael says, no, you need two witnesses, to make her drink also if she does it again in front of two witnesses. The says, the corpse between the two cities that was found, they would measure which one's closer to, and that Bedin would take responsibility, and they would bring a korban. So then they would break the calf's neck. So now where do we measure the body? Which side? This is very close to cities. Rabbi says, mitibra from his belly, from the belly button. Rabbi Yaki Omer, mehotmo from his nose. And if it's so smack in the middle between two cities, it must be those couple of feet help. Wherever this body became a corpse, meaning from his neck, that's considered the lifeline. The neck. Okay. Tara mitzvah regarding purification of mitzvah zamin. The Mishnah says, "In lo bohen yad ozen yimanit." If a mitzvah does not have a right hand, a thumb on his right hand, or a big toe on his right foot, or he has no right ear, which are all needed to be sprinkled on in order to become tahor. In lo tahara alamit, he holds. Tanakama holds that he can never become tahor because he doesn't have it. If Mary says no, you put it on the place of the missing limb. And that's good. You put on the stub or whatever he has. Stump. You can put it on the left side. That's good enough. In the gates, this refers to the halachot of leket shecham peah. Leket, what's leket in general? Leket means the thing that you drop as you are harvesting has to go to anayim. But how much? Shnei shibulim leket, if it's two pieces of wheat that fall down, that belongs to ani. Shlosha and leket, but if it's three that fall, you keep that because that's significant. Sheikhah was considered forgetting something behind. Shnei Umarim Sheikhah. You forgot two of them, they belong to Sheikhah, they belong to Aniyim. So Sha'an and Sheikhah 3, you can keep because it's significant. Ve'al Kulan regarding halachot, Beshem Emrish Shalosh La'ani, 3 or pieces belong to the poor. Va'arba Ba'bayit. And if there's a fourth one, then it goes to the owner. So yes, it's the max, the lowest is 3, and then the fourth goes to the owner. Meaning you don't, according to the first opinion, even if you drop 3, even 5, or rather even 3, you always collect all of them. You don't leave any behind. Benjamin says no, you leave the minimum for the ani. Pe'ah, which is the corner of your field, goes to the ani. What's the machlok over there? Tamisha says mitzvah pe'ah lahafrish min hakama. The mitzvah technically a pe'ah is to let the ani take from the standing crop. Lo hafish min hakama, say you do not do it yet. Yafish min hamarim, he can separate it for the ani from the thing that was cut. Lo hafish min hamarim, if you do not separate it yet. Yafish min hakari, you should separate it from your pile before you smooth it out, which is a sign of acquisition in regards to chayav ma'aser. Once you do that, once you smooth out the pile, ma'aser, and until he has to pay ma'aser and then give it to the ani. Seemingly, that's like paying taxes on on tax dollars after you pay taxes on it. Mishum Mishma Rav says no. After Mishina Isa, you could even give it to the ani from the dough after you baked it or made it into dough. You could still give it to the ani at that point. Again, you're doubling down on the payments because you already paid maaser on it. But these are the machlokets. All these machlokets in all these cases were what possible scenarios would the zaken mamred be rebelling against our halachot in betin.